Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Weather and Radar Meteorologist Becca Parker. We're going over the now deadly and unfortunately deadly atmospheric river event that is happening in California. And we are really seeing a lot of interesting scenes coming out of the area as this atmospheric river does continue to hit the state. As you can see, this video behind me here really shows a lot of the devastating impacts on just one area. This looks very similar to a lot of other areas that are impacted due to the heavy rainfall and the gusty winds. Landslides are happening in many areas, as is common for California when atmospheric rivers hit. And unfortunately, it's resulting in a lot of damage. As you can see, even in the photo or the video here, that we have the rock slides and landslides coming into buildings and have power lines down as well. A lot of power has been knocked out due to the situation here across California, and we are continuing to monitor this situation throughout the day today and even in tomorrow, due to the fact that this is just going to continue moving into the state. We have an atmospheric river, which, if you don't already know, an atmospheric river is a river of moisture available in the upper atmosphere, and it is surging out of the mid-latitudes and the Hawaiian latitudes of the Pacific Ocean, surging right into California and dropping rainfall and mountain snow. And what this is called is the Pineapple Express, due to the area that it does start off in, which is those Hawaiian latitudes where pineapples come from. That's why you've probably been hearing about the Pineapple Express for the last 2 weeks, actually, because we did have a very impactful storm hit last week as well for the beginning of February. And this is that next one that we continue to monitor. So let us take a look at what this looks like on the weather radar right now. So as you can see, let me zoom out here just so you can see that surge of moisture out of the Pacific. You can see the cloud cover here. We have a surge of moisture moving out of these latitudes where the Hawaiian Islands are right here. We have this moisture moving out. You can see the cloud line, and it moves straight into California, especially Southern California here. And this whole storm system in the lower levels of the atmosphere is churning right here in Northwest California. And let's turn this on so you can see the movement of that rainfall and that moisture surge right into California. And we'll zoom in here as well. When you see the blue, that is the heavy rainfall happening across the area. The pink is the snowfall. So you see we got some mountain snow happening, but that moisture surge right into Southern California is really what we've been monitoring from this situation really since Saturday evening and into Sunday. And just to go over a couple of stats here. So like I said earlier, unfortunately, this has become a deadly storm system. Someone in Northern California has passed, unfortunately, due to the situation. And Sunday was considered the third wettest Los Angeles day for February on record. And then I have to look for when those records go back to. But a lot of rain has fallen in that area in just a short amount of time. Those of you who know California, you know that we get these storm systems during the wet season from the atmospheric river events that do happen, which is great for the snowpack, great for preventing drought and all of that. The short-term impacts, however, can be very devastating in a lot of these areas, and that's really what we're seeing from the just constant surge of moisture moving into California here, all up and down the state, really. And like I said earlier, power outages have been a big issue, and that has come from the gusty winds that has come from the storm as well. Let me show you what the wind radar looks like right now. You can view these on your Weather and Radar app as well too. We've got links below in this video for you to get all that information so you can easily download. It's completely for free. So like I said earlier, we've got the low pressure system just churning right here, right off of northwestern California. And these are the gusty winds. The warmer the colors, the heavier, gustier the winds are. And let's take a look a little bit deeper here on what those winds are looking like. So in Redding, California, we've got winds gusting to 40 miles an hour right now. Even in the higher elevations, let's get down towards Mount Shasta here. You get the more red colors that are happening here. You got 50-mile-an-hour gusts happening here. But we've seen a lot of winds that have been coming from this event, wind gusts down even into the central portions of California and the southern portions of California, that the higher elevations are clocking wind gusts greater than 100 miles an hour, greater than 90 miles an hour. So really gusty storm system on top of it being very heavy with the rain and the mountain snow as well. For those of you who are just joining me, awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to go over this forecast for what to expect over the next 24 to 36 hours as the situation continues to unfold. And I know that a lot of you that have been already, that have been in California or just on the ground covering this in California, you're seeing this and it's lasting a very long time. So it's going to continue for a while longer here. We're going to get you through the forecast portion so you can be well informed to know how you can make your decisions going for the next couple of days here for this atmospheric river event. If you have any questions during this live, please feel free to drop them in the comments. I'll be checking them frequently throughout the live so that you can get all the information possible and we can get your questions answered. And it's likely if you have a question, someone else has the exact same question. So please feel free to drop those in the live, say hello, say where you're at, or if you were just concerned, if you have friends and family in California, you're thinking about them, and you want to know more, please let us know. We will answer those questions for you in the comments there. Alrighty, so like I said earlier, looking at the weather radar here, we've got that surge of moisture moving into Southern California mostly, but then also rainfall all across a lot of the west here, even to the Pacific Northwest, into the Great Basin here and as far west as just the western portions of the Rockies, getting up into the mountains here into Wyoming and then up into Idaho as well. So this is a big system, and this system is really being caused by an upper level trough. And what that means is there's an upper level low pressure system that is churning counterclockwise, and it is bringing down all of this cooler air, which allows for this storm system to exist, and which is why we're also seeing this area of atmospheric river. The low pressure trough in the upper atmosphere creates a lower bulge into the atmosphere, and that's why you see this curve right into Southern California. It is churning like this in counterclockwise motion and bringing up that moisture into Southern California, and that low pressure at the surface is taking advantage of that instability in the upper atmosphere, creating this storm system as well. And so it's all supporting one another as the storm system moves into the west. So, like I said earlier, for Southern California, the dark blue, the darkest colors here, that means heavy rainfall. Rain rates of, 0.25 to half an inch of rain are common, but up to an inch is very possible throughout the day today and even into tomorrow. And this stream of moisture is going to continue across Southern California from Los Angeles and kind of drift southward to kind of focusing on San Diego as the day does go on. So it's lunchtime over in the Pacific, on the Pacific side of the country, and we've got plenty of hours to go for this system. So you definitely want to pay attention and really get to know the weather radar as well so you can watch it. Those of you who are at work or at school, you want to make sure that you are taking your time for your commutes home. If you are out and about, these situations where the heavy rain lasts a long time, where you got the heavy rain rates, it's been raining a long time as well. Even if you've been in an area too that hasn't really been impacted by flash flooding, you really want to make sure that you are staying aware of any flood warnings, flash flood advisories, or anything like that in your area, because it could be moving in at any time. And if your area does not handle water well, you already know that just from previous events, this is just going to continue, and this is going to create those issues as well. So please monitor your local forecast so that you can get the information that you need to stay aware, especially as we get into the commute hours in a few hours later on today. You'll want to double check just to make sure that that is safe and give yourself that extra time and grace so that you don't end up in a situation that could be very detrimental. Alrighty, make sure this is okay. Just checking some technical issues real quick. Alrighty. So when it comes to this event, we are really going to be monitoring this heavy rainfall. And because of that, we've been seeing rainfall rates, like I said earlier, of almost up to an inch in some spots. But that has created, over the last couple of days, rainfall totals of being around 9 inches and even more. Some places are even approaching that 10-inch mark over the last for the storm total since Saturday night through Sunday and even into today. Let me double check something here too, just to make sure my volume sounds okay. Okay. So we're going to go into what the National Weather Service has really been talking about for this event. Let me transfer over here so that you can see what's going on. So you are able to see exactly. All right, perfect. So this is the Weather Prediction Center where we have the excessive rainfall forecasts. Many of you who have been following this story are probably noticing that we have a high risk down here in Southern California. This happens to be a very rare high risk that has been issued in the area. It has been issued yesterday and as well as for today. And we have 14 million people included in this high risk, and that does include Los Angeles. It's a very populated area that are seeing the flash flooding, the flood warnings, and that really heavy rainfall. And unfortunately, the vocabulary that has been used by the Weather Service has been, including the words catastrophic for some areas. So this is not a typical situation that Southern California sees, especially in a short period of time. You're not used to this rainfall in such a short period of time, and it is such a heavy rainfall as well. So that's why we've got that high risk, and why you're also getting those notifications likely for those heavy rain rates. We've got just this situation that just keeps piling on more rainfall in an area that has just been waterlogged the past weekend. So we have the risks for excessive rainfall extending all the way up into northwestern California here as well, as much as a marginal risk. Let me make sure this is good. Okay. As much as a marginal risk for that area. And what that means is we've got a level 1 out of 4 for excessive rainfall. That high risk, though, that's a level 4 out of 4. It's the highest we can go for a forecast for excessive rainfall. So we are going to be seeing that throughout the rest of the day today. That high risk does go through tomorrow morning. So what does it look like for tomorrow as well? Once that period passes, we still have excessive rainfall risks lasting through tomorrow, because this surge of moisture coming out of the Pacific is just going to continue to drop heavy rainfall into the area. And the reason why we are seeing even slight risks for tomorrow, these are a level 2 out of 4 on the severity scale for this, is because of the atmospheric river continuing to drop the heavy rainfall, plus the fact that we've been seeing really heavy rain the past few days. So the water on the ground is probably going to have a lot of issues even being soaked in. We've already been seeing rivers rising as well, so those are going to become, way more swollen and not be able to hold any more water. So that's going to be an issue as well, which is why we're seeing the continued effects even into tomorrow, even after things do start to slow down. Let me bring this back up so you can see. There we go. And luckily, by Wednesday, we are seeing only a marginal risk, but it does shift to the east into the southern Great Basin here. Alrighty. Let's take a look at rainfall totals as well over the next 2 days. No surprise here, we are seeing the heaviest rainfall across Southern California. These areas could see as much as 2 to 4 inches of additional rainfall through tomorrow morning. That's including what's already fallen today. This is in the forecast right now for the rest of the day today through tomorrow morning. Let's also go to the power outages that we've been talking about as well. So the power outages really are focusing on the central portions and the mostly northern portions of California. This is due to those really windy conditions that we're seeing from the storm system as they do move into California here. So we've got areas that are, almost half the county in Mendocino County is out of power this afternoon. And that's going to continue. Like I showed earlier, we do have these areas where they're experiencing landslides, mudslides, things like that, which are also impacting the power outages because they got the power lines coming down with it. So not only is the wind just, taking out the power lines, unfortunately, but we've also got just the ground movement from those landslides that is taking out those power lines as well. I also want to talk about what we're looking at as far as flood watches, flood warnings winter storm warnings, winter weather advisories. We've got it all across California right now. Let's see here. So as you can see in Southern California right now, we've got a large area under a flood warning. That's that lime green color here, and a flood watch already extending into much of California, into Southern California here as well. So these are going to continue throughout the day today into tomorrow, and we've got those winter storm warnings also posted for the higher elevations. And we're going to be seeing that again throughout the day today and tomorrow. I want to talk about certain areas of how much rainfall they've received just since yesterday, and these were posted this morning. And we've got Hoburgs, California, has reached 10 inches of rain as of this morning. And we are also going to see areas that have seen peak wind gusts as well. We've got in California, Lagunitas Forest has seen 102 mile per hour wind gust in that area. So we're going to be seeing these constantly build as the storm does continue to move through. We'll see the rainfall totals build as well as those gusty wind reports come in as well. Alrighty. So I want to talk about too what we are covering for this storm. So we have our live blog going where you're seeing all of the latest information pop up on your app. So be sure to pay close attention to these live updates that we have for today, especially if you're in California, because we've got those weather alerts going out as well, which are going to tell you where the flooding rains are likely in your area and about how much you're expected to receive. But we also have the live blog too, showing the latest information as the day goes on and as the storm continues. So we've got our weather reporter on the ground reporting this information. Jonathan Petramala is out on the scene. He's been seeing the rivers rise in Los Angeles River. He's been seeing those images of the landslides, unfortunately, as well. So a lot of interesting things happening due to this one storm. So you'll want to keep updated with the live blog as you continue about your day, and keep up with the weather radar as well. Alrighty. Yeah, I'm going to try to talk louder here. The sound's not working on my end, unfortunately. So if you can hear me at least a little bit, good. We're going to see, and I'll be able to check this out once the live is over to take care of any technical issues. So, like I said earlier, we've got the live blog going so you can get all the latest information, get the rain totals. You've got the wind gusts that are happening as well, and all the latest images and the video footage that we're getting from Jonathan Petramala on the scene as well. So let's go back to the weather radar, and we're going to take a look at the next 24 hours as the storm does continue to move through. Again, if you have your Weather and Radar app downloaded, perfect. You can follow along right on there so you can see all the information that I'm showing you. And if you're not totally updated with the Weather Radar, this is a great place to learn as well. So I said earlier how we have the blue colors and the pink colors as well. The blue is the heavy rainfall and the pink is the snowfall. And we've even got these yellow dots here. This is the lightning as well happening during the storm system as well, and getting into the higher elevations of the Sierra Nevada. So what we're going to see over the next 24 hours is this continue to drift south, especially across Southern California. Los Angeles is going to get a little bit of a break coming up here in the afternoon, but it's really going to shift into Southern California for the San Diego area. Let me double check any. Perfect. Okay. So that's going to continue. And we're seeing this over the next 24 hours. That this just surges into Southern California and continues even up into the Pacific Northwest as well. So those of you who are having, traveling over the next 24 hours, you're really going to want to pay attention to maybe even postponing, working from home if possible, staying home if possible, due to the conditions that are just going to continue for a very long time. This is 5 o'clock Pacific time tomorrow, where you're going to be seeing all of this rainfall continue across California here, and the heavy snow across the Sierras and into the Great Basin as well. What this means for travel is that it's going to be very tough, especially in the mountain passes, for the snowfall side of things. You're going to watch out for chain restrictions, even areas that are closed due to heavy snowfall as well. We don't want to be driving through these situations into the mountain passes that are going to be low visibility due to the heavy snowfall, in addition to the gusty winds as well. So that could really make things hard when you are traveling across that area, especially in high profile vehicles. So, and then with the rain, I mean, it sounds like a broken record, but it's just going to continue tomorrow as well, as this surge of moisture just continues out of the Pacific Ocean and into the southwestern U.S., including California, and getting into the southwest, desert southwest here as well. This continues all the way through tomorrow afternoon and even into tomorrow evening. So this is lunchtime tomorrow Pacific time, and this keeps going as the storm system continues to slowly but surely move east. We'll finally see breaks coming late tomorrow night. So those of you who are wondering when this is all going to be over, you've got a while to go, which is why we've got all those risks for flooding and excessive rainfall, because these areas are going to continue to see that heavy rain in the same spot for a long duration of time. So please pay a close attention to your local forecast, your local warnings. Have your alerts switched on in the Weather and Radar app as well, so you can get all the latest information. And we are posting on social media, so we've got that link to our app as well, so you can get latest information in quick bits as well if you just need a quick update on what exactly is happening. Alrighty. All right. Well, thank you all so very much. I'm Weather and Radar Meteorologist Becca Parker. We are covering this on our app all day, so you'll get all the latest information right there. The links are below this video. As we close out this live, you'll be able to access them throughout the rest of the day as well. Thank you all so much.